So today I wanted to talk a little bit about something fitness related, and it's about exercise selection. So this is a good question. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I know which exercises to choose? Because there are a lot of them, and that's true. It can be really confusing and maybe even overwhelming to think about all of the exercises, especially if we're following fitness accounts on Instagram and Facebook and that sort of thing. We're seeing lots of people do things we've never seen before, or really novel exercises. So this is a bit of a loaded question, but I'm going to try to simplify it and give a good, concise answer. The way to know which exercises to pick for yourself, especially if you're engaging in strength training or lifting weights, if that's what we're talking about, which generally is what people are asking me about, then there's going to be some core foundational functional lifts that we don't want to neglect, okay? And there's a lot of different ways to do each of those. So for upper body, you can think of it in terms of vertical push, vertical pull. So a vertical push would be a shoulder press. Vertical pull might be simulating a chin up or a pull up, or doing a lat pull down, or even doing a pull down with a band. One arm, two arms, same thing, it's a vertical pull. And then the other two important movements for upper body are going to be horizontal push, so a chest press or a push-up, that's the way you can think of it, and a horizontal pull, so all of the different row variations, okay? And then for lower body and core, you're going to think something knee dominant, so like a squat variation, or a hip variation, which is going to be more of like a deadlift, okay? So if you think of it in terms of those two big important movements for your legs, there's a lot of different ways to do those variations. You could literally start by sitting up or sitting down on a stair or a chair in your house or a bench or something, and then standing up. That's a squat variation, okay? You could literally start with something as simple as that, and getting the mechanics of that down. So these are just the things that you don't want to neglect. I didn't mention core too. So core could be like a carry or a plank variation. Carry would mean like a farmer's carry, like you've got two heavy weights in your hand and you're walking, but you're really bracing your core, and it's good to ensure that you've got a resilient core when you do stuff like that. So it's an important core movement, and there's a lot of different ways to do that. Plank variations, I like them because there's a lot of different things you can do, and you can do them anywhere. You can do them in your office, you can do them at home. So that's what you want to think about. Those key foundational functional lifts, you want to find your version of those lifts, okay? So if you go to the gym and you do a seated cable row and you really like the way it feels, and you can engage those intended muscle group that you're trying to hit, which is the lower lats and the back in general, and the rhomboids, the strips of muscle right in between your shoulder blades. If you hit that, then and it feels good, and that's great. So that might be something that you incorporate in your repertoire at least once a week, some sort of a row variation, okay? And then if you like your lat pull down machine and it feels good and you feel like you're working your lats, then you might want to do some variation of that every week, okay? And that's how we can cover our bases and we cover the whole body so that we're not neglecting muscle groups. You've always heard of that dude in the gym who's notorious for never working legs, so you don't necessarily want to do that. I wouldn't recommend it. So that is how you're going to choose exercises best suited for you. The ones that work the intended muscle group, that are not neglecting any major muscle groups or body parts, and that feel good, that are fun, that you can do on a consistent, regular basis. And if you have more specific questions about lifts and what not to focus on, maybe what to focus on, feel free to hit me up, ask me questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. And then puppy.